The Old Farts Podcast. So here we are. This is our actually officially second podcast. So we're getting this started. Hopefully it'll work a little better than the first one. So give us a little time and we'll get adjusted to this. I will, well, I don't care what they decided earlier. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm doing a day in the history. And today I found some things that are important to at least a couple of us. Yeah, I don't care what you say. First off, for those of us from South Dakota, Ron,
Yes.
in 1876, frontiersman Wild Bill Hickok was shot dead today in Deadwood, South Dakota. That's probably
And the old number 10 cafe,
Yes.
the bar, which is #1 saloon in the world.
And what was he holding?
He was holding aces and eights.
Yep, the dead man's hand.
Yes.
And his dying words were,
That's two. You'll get one more. And then in 1974, from our friend who can't control himself, in 1974, John W. Dean III on this date was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Only serving 4 months, but it was close. But that was all because of Watergate, and that was because the press, the Washington Post, managed to get all of them, which we can't seem to do today. And finally, for me in 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait, and I unfortunately had the opportunity to serve a 6-month cruise in the beautiful Middle East. One of the finer dead places to be if you ever want to take a cruise. It's your opportunity. Next.
So we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about here today. Each of us has a particular topic we want to bring up and kind of move this thing along. So the GOP has always had the guiding principle of never getting caught with a dead hooker or live boy. It's true. This is the entire party's principle is no dead hookers and no live boys. But within the last 2 weeks, the superintendent of public education in the state of Oklahoma was hosting a executive meeting of the Board of Education in Oak City.
Yeah.
And two attendees of this thing noticed that there was some porn playing on a loop on his computer screen, or it may have been being broadcast to his TV, is what one of the reports said. He has not denied it, but he has blamed the liberal media for planting the loop, I guess, on his computer. And it's the audacity of the dodging by someone who's supposed to be living a life close to the war. This guy is a far right politician in the state of Oklahoma, and has already instigated a number of policy changes within the education system, not least of which is that there needs to be a Bible in every public school classroom, and the Bible needs to be now part of the curriculum. And I find the hypocrisy to be the thing that just grinds me down into a pulp every night. You know, you're trying to get yourself through every day. And to think that this guy is this far right Christian nationalist, I think the term is Nazi.
I certainly, but I wouldn't be a problem. Now, I would argue with you about one thing.
Well,
He's been fair. He is also now blaming the Republican Oklahoma governor
yes.
for doing this, as well as the two Republican board members.
Yes.
So it's not just the liberal press. He's spreading it around. He's spreading it to everybody. Okay, that's it.
He's great, but it's the hypocrisy of all of this, because what they're doing is defending Fat Donnie day in and day out, right? And what is Fat Donnie most recently accused of? It's this pedophilia and sexual abuse. And what this Walters is doing is broadcasting whatever you want to think about porn or whatever it is. It's also abuse to some extent, right?
Definitely. Well, Fat Donnie was not accused of pedophilia.
Not yet.
Correct. That's why I wanted to correct you.
Yeah.
Because it was his association with the pedophile.
Yes, except what I would say is that he has gone through depositions,
Yes.
and
Well, I'm
there
not,
are
I'm not-
eight. There,
I'm not defending him.
no, I know, but
Really?
there are eight citations in these depositions, and there were 5 young girls and 3 young boys
Yes.
in these depositions that he abused. That he is alleged to have abused sexually.
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Diversity.
Yes. It's a DEI.
Yeah. Oh, crap. They're gonna be in trouble for that.
So, and the youngest is one of the boys. He's 11 or was 11 at the time. And my rant is how these folks in the GOP are tied together. And I know you guys said something about this the other day. It's the thread that binds the GOP.
Yeah.
If someone were to pull this thread, Matt Gaetz is really the first one that we really sort of latched on to.
You mean who's running for, gonna be
Running for governor.
Well,
But it was, well, what was he running for? Gates,
He
Attorney General, right?
yes, he was nominated.
he was the running, yes.
Somehow Pam Bondi is a step up from that.
Is she a step up?
Guys,
She does that MAGA cosmetic thing.
that's right.
Yeah.
But if you pull that thread, if someone, and the name that keeps popping in my head is David Gordon with Mother Jones, or somebody from Rolling Stone. Why has this thread not been pulled? If it's ever pulled, this country falls apart, because you look at all of the individuals in the administration. There is some tie to this culture of abuse.
And Louis giving me the lead in my room, which came to me from the Palm Beach County Tax Collector's Office in a mailing piece that she sent out, not to collect my taxes, but to tell me that I left Florida 2 years ago and my handicap license has expired and I should renew it. But in that same envelope was a promotional piece from an organization called Warren's Kids. And here are the interesting facts, which Lou has led me into. 1 in 3 girls, 1 in 5 boys, 1 in 5 children in the United States are sexually abused before the age of 18. These statistics are staggering, but the solution is clear. And that solution is 90% of child abuse is preventable through education and awareness. It's extremely important that the man that this message was pointed at, who happens to live in Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach County, should keep G. Maxwell in prison where she belongs. And then maybe a few of his compatriots will join him, because he is one big.
No, so I have a question for you. Do you think he got this letter in his mail? Would they send this to him?
That doesn't mean pay taxes.
Okay, well, that's, yeah, you're thinking he does?
I'm taking it down another track.
Yeah, somebody wanna investigate that, I like that, yeah.
And I would like to add this to my statement. If you feel the way we do, or you don't feel the way we do, let us know. It's extremely important to us. Go to our website and let us know what you think.
It's any old farts on blue sky.
And leave a comment, subscribe, like, do whatever it is that needs to be done with this YouTube channel so we can spread the word more.
Loyalty, I demand over, you have to have loyalty from all of you. All 300 million.
Okay, I tell you, Lou, the old guys are getting a little carried away today.
Yeah.
James Comey, Truth, Lies, and Leadership. He was born in 1960. That's about the time I was joining the Marine Corps. He graduated with honors from William and Mary. Got a degree in law school at the Chicago Law School. 1992 assistant attorney general under Giuliani. Remember Rudy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's for
He sees his dad.
That's America's mayor.
Yes,
Comey.
I haven't seen him.
Giuliani, Rudy was riding high and he needed help, so he made Mr. Comey the assistant attorney general, and he prosecuted people like Scooty Libby, Martha Stewart, encountered the mafia with guys like Sammy the Bull, John Gotti, Lacoste and Mostra. He also had dealings with Clintons in the Whitewater. And somebody that I knew personally, he prosecuted the Baron, which is Otto von Bressendorf. He did that when he was the head of the FBI in Richmond at a later date. In 2013, Obama nominated or appointed him as Comey as the director of the FBI. And he moved his family over to Washington, and it was kind of short-lived because he got sideways with Trump right away, but that didn't come back to haunt him until later. In 2016, just before the election, Comey announced from the DOJ there's a new investigation going into Hillary Clinton, which she was poised to win the election, and it kind of, with that new investigation opening just before the nomination of the election, she stepped in it, and Trump wound up getting the nomination. So, Trump did quite well. In 2017, Trump set up a dinner with he and Comey in the White House. It was a private dinner, and it should have been, because going back to 40 years, the Department of Justice, the FBI, were not supposed to be that close to the president. And to have private meetings, you always had people with. He set it up when Comey got to the dinner at the green room at the White House. It just was just the two of them, and that kind of shocked everybody that they would be private. That's kind of where Trump filled out his guts and tried to set Comey up to be totally loyal and get him to say, I will be loyal to you forever, like most of the other henchmen that hung around with Trump. And they talked about different things. First of all, at the dinner, Trump set him up and told him how good looking he was and tall. He was 6 feet 8 inches tall. That's a tall guy. And told him all about how much he liked him and admired him, which none of it could have been true. But he also talked about, he told Comey he never had extra affairs with women and denied the, what I would call the pee-pees thing, which would be the golden shower. And
That's not the.
Trump discussed all of that with Comey, and Comey just sat there in shock. And it ended up that I need loyalty, I expect loyalty, I have to have loyalty from everybody around me. And that's pretty much what Trump gets. He gets lines of people, and if they're not totally loyal, he blows them away. He later Comey later investigated Mike Flynn on the Russia deal. And Trump said, let it go, cover it up. We don't want to talk about Michael Flynn because he was just another loyal foot. And Trump insisted, let it go. And when Comey refused to let it go, he got fired when he was in LA at a what they call a recruitment event. Bringing in young college students to join the FBI, and a recruiter would be for the military. And during that conversation, we had a whole room full. In the back room on the wall off to the side was a TV screen that somebody left running, and blared out there, Comey resigns. And people started nudging each other and thought, boy, that's kind of funny, kind of embarrassing, but it can't be true. And then as the newscast went on, Comey stepped up and said, what's going on? He had not been notified by anybody, including his assistant, which was, I think his name was Andy something, I don't know. The White House never notified him. Trump said, fire him, leave him there in LA, he'll find his own way home. And he was never, ever to go on be connected to the FBI again in his whole life. So that's kind of what's going on with him. He later retired after he got fired and started writing books. He's written about 3 books, about most of them considered were in reference to loyalty to Mr. Trump. And he now lives in Virginia with his wife and family.
Don't give any addresses.
Well, now most recently, they decided, well, the last name like Comey, maybe we'll fire his daughter. That just came up a few days ago. The reason for firing his daughter, because his daughter, who was in the same New York office, the Manhattan district office, she investigated Maxwell and Diddy and some others, and when she uncovered, started making noise about Maxwell, bringing that to light, somebody at the Department of Justice decided, oh, we'll fire her too. So that's kind of the end. That's about all I have to say.
I was gonna say, you guys, I'm a little disappointed.
You would be.
I have to say, because granted, you bring good subjects up, but it's not what's happening in the world. What's important right now is those 2 nuclear subs floating around, who knows where, all because of a guy named Medvedev, who apparently has nothing to really do with the Kremlin anymore. But it was good enough for our president to float these submarines who are already out there. Don't get me wrong. He probably had little to do with where they're at.
But then you say a break between from the Middle East, the Mediterranean.
Oh, okay. You act like
They were just around the corner.
Yeah, we don't have just 2 nuclear subs.
Oh, no. What, does she know that?
Yeah, he wouldn't have a clue. First off, he doesn't get any briefings anymore. They just have a TV show for him every morning. They're getting, the highlights, like Fox. Oh, wait, it's Fox News. He's briefed on Fox News. So anyway, here's my deal.
Is that when he sits on his golden throne?
Throne, we really don't care. Okay.
Don't be disappointed about me.
Yes. So, but having, of course, been as low as you can get in the Navy and having absolutely no knowledge about anything.
And you admit it.
Yes, I would. I do have like some people here, I do read from time to time. And so since somebody else had to bring up their author, I'm going to mention a couple of mine. One, Heather Cox Richardson had an article last night in her newsletter talking about the fact that, whenever there's problems in the White House, we create a bigger problem. So it'll distract from what's going on. Same for, if you know who Tom Nichols is, writes for the Atlantic, a well-known a person who knows about these kind of things. And he also mentioned the fact that, of course, here we are, if we want to get away from this whole, Maxwell, Epstein thing, well, let's just create a nuclear crisis. And so for those of you that probably aren't as old, particularly the last two guys over here, just remember, if something happens, you duck and cover, crawl under a table. That's what we all learned. And for all you younger kids, that's what you're going to have to learn now. So duck and cover, and I'd say just kiss your ass goodbye. But I'm not sure I can say that.
You're really cheerful.
So really,
That must be well, no, South Dakota. I was gonna say, that must be the Texan in you.
Yes, that is. I'm so positive from being from Texas. Yeah.
so the submarine thing is a continuation of the elephant and the mouse,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
At some point, the fable comes back to the beginning. I don't see us coming back to the beginning. This,
I don't
because
know.
what's next?
We're just wandering on.
We're wandering in the desert.
Because,
Oh, we already did this.
yes, yeah, so he's got 2 nuclear subs on station. On the Russian
That
coast.
that we know about.
Right.
Yeah, there's one.
Just a diversion to talk about something
Other than Epstein.
Yes.
That's all.
So this isn't gonna work. It hasn't distracted anyone. I mean, we're all a little bit concerned, let's say, but we're sentient adults and we can handle these things. He
Well,
can't.
3 of us.
And so, but so then, if 2 nuclear subs on station
Wow.
don't distract us, he's got to do something else.
Oh, yeah, that's what's scary.
So that's the scary.
Yeah.
The parable has to be extended to chase away the
Well, I'm supposed to go back to the
price
police.
of lots.
Yes.
We must protect the weak from before the strong crushes them. The strong will crush us if we don't stand up and do something like this. Like every day we have to do something. Including standing in the corner waiting for sun.
Absolutely.
I will tell you, take the opportunity to do any little thing you can. Because right now, I'm not sure where our help's coming from. Nobody trusts Congress, Democratic or Republican at the moment. We certainly can't trust the executive branch. And like everybody else, we pretty much know the Supreme Court's about as useless as it comes. So, and I'm pretty sure I'm not telling anybody.
Well, he owns the Supreme Court
Yes.
and the House and the Senate.
In fact, I saw an article that Kavanaugh apparently said he doesn't really care what anybody thinks about him. Kind of said,
As long as he's got his.
yeah, he got his beer and whatever else he does with it.
Beer and girls.
Yeah.
Again. Somebody pull the thread.
Yeah.
It's through everything.
You kind of getting a little stuck on this girls thing there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I am stuck on it because we talked about it ahead of time. These kids and young adults are not getting justice for having been abused or being abused currently. And they don't get justice in the future when some repercussions or consequences could be exacted. There are people in this administration, in this government, for whom consequences and repercussions are non-existent.
Correct.
Well, unless you say something, the wrong something and you get fired. Because we all know several people have been fired recently. Bad news is not a good.
I don't know how do you argue with numbers?
It's a number.
So I'm gonna guess that in the July employment numbers are going to be 1.2 million. Well, let's take bets. July, no, not July, August.
Yeah.
The July numbers will be reconsidered.
Oh, significantly, yes, they'll be significantly
Right,
high.
but in the meantime, there were 5 food processors in Wisconsin who have closed their plants.
Right.
PepsiCo has closed, I believe it's 6 bottling and distribution facilities. Where are these people being employed? They're not.
No.
It continues to add up, but if you don't add 1 and 1 makes 2, then you're gonna get fired.
So the recalculation of the July numbers, which were 75,000 new people were employed
Yeah.
in the month of July. And the May and June numbers were downgraded even further, right?
Correct.
And that cost the director of statistics at the Bureau of Labor, it cost her job because he didn't like the numbers.
So what you're saying is if the numbers look bad in August, there's gonna be 2 more submarines out there looking for Russians.
This is sorry, but this is my point. Yeah, it's either that or you're gonna launch one.
Okay,
That's the next step. They're all, as you know, all the boats are out there,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
And they can fire on any country
Yeah.
from any.
pretty much anywhere. Unless somebody reminds me otherwise, I've forgotten all that stuff.
And I'm sorry, I do not know how to pronounce this woman's, it's Erica. Who was just fired this week
Oh,
because the
yeah.
numbers were so bad.
He's already found somebody to replace him, though. He was at a newsman. Picket liners or not, whatever, he talks out on his way out the door,
Yeah.
and he said something about the replacement. And he referred to some guy named John Hudson.
From Fox News.
Hmm?
Somebody from Fox News.
Yeah, that's Fox News, but it's somebody in the audience.
It's all he ever hires is Fox News.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be, who's on, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't watched Fox News.
Well, this is classic Trump. Classic. Overpromise, underdeliver, change the subject. That's a classic putz, not how power works.
What was that?
Classic putz.
Okay, so you're gonna throw that stuff out
Well, I did.
Yeah, not going to.
now. He did it, okay, yes, thank you.
The English language is very precise.
You have to get right to the point so everyone understands.
Yes.
Sure, whatever. So now you're gonna call the Putz cast is what you're gonna call it.
No.
Oh, just,
No,
Just he's one,
POTUS. POTUS,
is
putz of the White House. Or putz of the US.
yes. Speaking of White House, as our parting shot, before they paint it gold, of course, the gold house,
Right.
we're adding a new ballroom.
$200 million.
Yes, we cannot feed the world. We cannot feed our own country, but we're going to build a ballroom in the White House. We are so wrong right now, it's not even funny.
well, you need someplace for the Alcott Smirnoff to come out and do his routine.
Routine, yeah,
Yeah. The Kid Rock,
yeah,
Lee Greenwood.
It's gonna be.
the quality of entertainers in the US.
Some of these guys, I didn't know they were still alive.
Well, I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not sure they fit the line either.
I'm pretty sure Greenwood is just a hologram at this point. So. So that, I think,
Oh, we have.
yeah, we're at a half hour. Gee, I had so much fun today.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Closing thought, quick.
Closing thoughts.
Okay,
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to get the time, wait, where are we in the recording? We can lock that out.
I'm gonna fill space.
Listen.
I already gave my parting shots about the White House.
Okay,
So did I.
oh,
They need that new ballroom, so he feels like he's dining with people like he does up here in Hartford. It's gotta be a replica of that, all gold and expensive and huge and glamorous.
yeah. So you've already given your parting thought?
Well,
Mine?
I do have.
Okay, good.
He better finish that ballroom fast, because at the end of 3.5 years, he ain't gonna be there.
No, no.
He doesn't know that.
No,
No,
so I'm gonna lighten it up with my parting thought is about the MAGA look. We talked about this just recently and how everybody tends to look alike. Melania looks like Kristen Ohm,
Like Bondi.
yeah, and like Bondi, Carolyn Levitt, because if you really look at old photos of these people, of these individuals, they all look nice, they're nice looking, and, you know, but now they all have this. This look.
they look like the Barbie dolls.
Yes,
And
yes.
so, we
So,
Harvey Bondi.
but it seems to be now extending to the male side of MAGA. There have been photographs circulating of Don Jr. Fat Donnie Jr. Junior needs. I have a horrible physique. I understand. I'm throwing stones, and I know they're gonna come back at me. If Don Jr. were in this room. I'm sorry, he'd have huge nipples right now. He's walking around, he needs a man's ear. He's starting to get the MAGA look. I'm waiting for his cheekbones to go up, his eyes to go slanted.
I'm thinking if we need a sponsor, we've got one.
Yes, we're talking to Dr. Slicendice
Yep,
to come on as a sponsor.
because
You got it.
that's it. I gave mine about the White House.
Okay, so don't forget, subscribe if you will, and also hit the like button and leave us a comment. Tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us what we're doing right, and